Now you guys have been around. You know, one of my favorite things is Power Rangers and Super Sentai. So when Matt came to me and said, Jason, I think you should make a top 10 Megazord video, which is kind of hard to pick. That's like asking me what my favorite bacon is, and the answer is all of them. And then he goes, you should make a top 10 Megazord video. So here it is, my top 10 Power Rangers, Super Sentai, Mecha, or Megazords. Now for the sake of this video, I'm going to call them Megazords because I like the name Megazord. Number 10, the Hiso Henkei Tenkujin or Samurai Star Chopper. Now I just love this thing because, you know, I'm a big Transformers fan as well. I love how it was a helicopter. I like how it became a very unique style robot with the big star on the chest and part of it splitting to reveal the head. Also, the combination for the other Rangers wasn't so bad either. This is my lowest ranking Zord, but it's honestly one of my favorites just because how cool it looks, and it reminds me of something out of Mask. Number 9, the Goseigata Dairino, or Thunder Megazord. Now, this one has a special place in my heart just because it's where Power Rangers took a turn. We got our first new Megazord, and honestly, I love Dairanger so much. The Zord had a central form with the red dragon that could fight on its own. Now, the other 4 auxiliary Zords, I mean, they made their sled or their battle platform, and they weren't really used that much. But when they did, oh, I love that he had his own sheath, could draw the sword, just that whole samurai motif. One of my big draws, and also the first Megazord that I was able to buy as a kid with my own money. Number 8, Tenku Gatai Jet Icarus. Now, you didn't see this one in the States. This is from Jetman. But I really like the look of this Zord, mainly because I like Zords that have other combinations besides just a Megazord or a giant robot. Jet Icarus could also combine into a larger jet, combining all the rest of them, called the Icarus Haken, with the command of Combine Jet Scram. Okay, that's more me being a nerd. But honestly, also, if you look at the cockpits of all the mecha and the big mecha, they were recycled for Daijujin or the original Megazord. Number 7, Galaxy Mega or the Power Rangers in Space Megazord. Now this is one that I've been dying to find as a toy because I no longer have my old one. But it was a change to form. You had the combining robots, that usually there were 5 of them. They combine legs, arms, you know the whole deal. But the Galaxy Mega was just a big spaceship that had an auxiliary ship inside of it that would blast off and become the head. I love the transformation on there, and it reminds me of old school Transformers. This is honestly one of my favorite Zords, and I really want to get another toy version of him. Number 6, the Grand Caesar or the Dragonzord. Now I know this one should probably be higher on the list, but it was our first time seeing another Zord besides the Megazord or the Grand Caesar because he was a new Ranger, our 6th Ranger coming in. So it holds a special place in my heart. I love how it was summoned, the sounds it would make, and also I'm a big fan of Godzilla and monster movies like that. So yeah, ranks pretty high up there with me. Number 5, the Gokai Oh or Super Mega Force Megazord. Now honestly, I hated Super Mega Force, but I love me some Gokaiger. It's honestly one of my favorite toys, the Gokai Oh. Now I'm very critical of the combining method as it always left spare Zords when it made its big mecha mode. But honestly, it was a great Zord. His chest would open up, revealing a cannon, a dragon, a tiger. I love the other series getting in there and giving it different forms. Now, honestly, I didn't like how it combined into its final form because it left a lot of pieces lying around. But honestly, this is one of my favorite Zords and also stylishly wore the pirate hat. Gotta give it up. Number 4, Daijujin or the Dino Megazord. Well, you were expecting this higher on the list? Don't get me wrong, it's one of my favorite Megazords. Loved the sword design, loved how the bots would combine into a 3rd mode with its tank mode and then just kind of rise up, forming the Megazord. Yes, I know it's the original and it should probably be higher on my list. That doesn't mean I don't have any love for it. This is why I didn't want to make a top 10 list. But it was a great mecha. Loved the big sword. The mammoth shield didn't get used a lot, but he honestly had a lot more things with the lightning head that would come off the antenna on the top and the shoulder cannons. It was sad seeing this one destroyed at the end of the Power Ranger series, but we did get a new mecha out of it. So yeah, number 4 on my list. Number 3, the Time Force Megazord or Time Ranger Robo. I might have said those out of order. But anyway, this was a great series for me. I love Time Ranger and I love Time Force. And it was a Zord that actually had 2 different modes with the red and the blue. One swinging the sword with the shield and the other with a blaster. And the combination was also very cool in this one too. Honestly, and I also like that it had a third mode where all the ships would combine into a big triangular thing like Jet Icarus. So this is why it ranked very high on my list, and honestly it was a hard choice between this one and Jet Icarus. Number 2, Kyoryugen or the Dino Charge Megazord. Once again, not too big on the American series, but Kyoryuger was my jam, and I loved this one. Honestly, the thing played music as it combined and different tunes for different combinations. Tell me that's not cool. You gotta love the music in this one. Now granted, it was one big Zord in the middle with a bunch of auxiliary Zords that would attach to the sides. And I honestly didn't care too much because they were small and it was only 3 combining. But honestly, they all had different combinations and different powers, different songs, and I honestly loved how the mecha looked as dinosaurs. One of my favorites and very high on this list. And my number 1 mecha or Megazord, the Deca Ranger Robo or SPD Megazord. Oh, I don't know why I like this thing so much. It's actually, the toy version is very small, but the mecha on screen was one of my favorites. Maybe it's because I was a big fan of RoboCop and it really had that look to it. But honestly, everything combining with the Pat Striker, which is also something that carried over to Gokaiger, it just looks so clean to me. I loved how they combined on the show. And also, this one actually rode a motorcycle. Yes, that combination was awesome. It rode a bike. I love that. So that might be something that just maybe gravitated me to it, but also it wielded a gun. Yes, they had a sword, but it would shoot you first and judge you with the 3 modes on the guns, and in Japan, it actually fired a round. Not a pew pew pew, but a bang bang bang. So yeah, the Deca Ranger Robo or the SPD Megazord is one of my favorites and also one of my favorite series from Super Sentai and Power Rangers. Anyway, I know you're going to tell me in the comments below that I'm wrong, but guess what? It's my list. I couldn't possibly be wrong. But if you have some suggestions or some disagreements, you know where the comment section is. Like this video, subscribe, and we'll see you next time, guys. I'll catch you later.